Hi everyone, welcome to another On the Sensors video. I'm Duncan here with your fellow co-hosts Majo and Polyfly, and we have our guest Echo3 in the house today. Hi Echo.
How you doing, man? Right.
We have been running something on the On the Sensors Discord for the past few weeks called The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, where we've invited members of the Destiny community to submit fan-made cards. Where you can chat about them in that channel, but the real reason for asking for people to submit them is so that we can put them to a design guru, which we have today, Echo3 from Echobase. So today's video, we're just going to run through some of those cards. It'll be part one of a series, which we expect to be ongoing, and we're going to have a little bit of fun. And if you have submitted a card, and we're a little bit harsh on it, we're sorry, we're just trying to have a little bit of fun. Anyway,
Duncan, the whole idea here is you know, it takes quite a bit. It takes quite a bit to design sets, right? And all of us like to design cards and have fun, but really, what goes into that process? And what better way to do that than throw some of these cards at some of the ARH design guys?
Yeah.
To see how see the process.
Well, Echo3 from Echobase was the co-designer of Seeking Answers. He is the design guru from A Renewed Hope, and I believe the first person to work concurrently on 2 sets. Is that right, Echo?
Yeah, that's right. So I worked on Unlikely Heroes as sidekick to Rock Control, and I stayed on the design team. Echo3 came along as well and joined for Seeking Answers, and I'm also involved in Set 6, and Set 6 was designed alongside Set 5.
Ooh.
Wow.
Not too many people know that Set 6 is kind of sat there 75% done, and it was designed at the same time as Seeking Answers. It throws up a funny situation of, if you look at Seeking Answers, some cards, they don't really make sense, they don't have a place. You might just flick through your folder when you have your cards, flick through the DB, and you think, this card's crap. Like, what does that do? But it will make, some cards will make more sense, also theme-wise, with what's coming up in the next set, which is late November release.
I love that. I love that continuity.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I play Magic for a long time, and these guys know I compare a lot of stuff that we talk about to Magic, but in the big grand scheme of game design, like thinking ahead, like a set or 2 sets ahead, like that's pretty normal in the game design era to try to keep things rolling. And to hear that you guys have embraced that and started doing that more, I think is awesome, because it just means that we're already thinking ahead. We're thinking towards the next stuff and the next set and the next steps, which is awesome.
Oh yeah, there's some fun stuff to come.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
That's a promise.
Okay, well, let's get on with these videos. Let's get on with these cards then, just now. We're just going to get straight to it. Some of these cards are from people quite well known in the Destiny community, but Polly, Majo and I have taken the trouble of designing our own cards as well for this. So the first card we will take you through and get your opinion on was designed by Polyfly. Polly, do you want to take us through this card?
Here we go. 8T88, character droid informant for 9 health. It's a 1 focus, +1 focus, and then a 1 and a +1. At the time I designed this, we didn't have the reroll symbol in the little thing I was designing it, so that's 1 reroll and a +1 reroll. Okay. Droid Informant for 7/9, and he says, after you activate this character, you may look at the top 4 cards of a deck, place 1 of them on the top and the rest on the bottom in a random order. I was always a big fan of Jabba's ability to look at the top 4 of your deck and draw a card, and Droid Informant just having all that extra information I thought was really cool. So yeah, so here's mine. Here you go. Rip it apart if you want.
All right. Oh man, I can see how this is gonna be fun, isn't it?
Well, what kind of decks did you see this going in, Polly?
This is a gray neutral.
Talk among yourselves. Buy time. Let me think about it.
You're good. So this is a great. So I put this as gray neutral at 7/9. Any deck that plays a big character where you want to kind of filter the cards that are coming to you to set up for big turns, or maybe your opening hand didn't have a weapon in it and you need it, for the start of the next round, or you're facing somebody late in the game and you need a specific piece of removal. Like, this is card filtering and card drawing in any game, in my opinion, is one of the best things that you can do. That takes some of the variance out of your deck, and something like this gives you that opportunity. And he's on a small body, he's only 9 health, so he can easily be spiked off the table. But if he sticks around even for one turn, like, you're still getting to see your initial 5 or 10 cards, depending on if you mulligan. 5 cards essentially, and then you get to see an extra 4 off of that. Like, it seems pretty good.
Yeah, Echo, maybe just even to give you a couple of prompts, and obviously, because we're not going to sit here and do a video essay on every card, but like, when you look at this, what are your gut reactions? What do you think of the points? What do you think of the health? What do you think of the overall power level? Ready, go.
So in a vacuum, 7-9 for 9 health. The health is above average, way above average. If you look at most cards on characters under 14, 13 points, their first die cost will be within 1 or 2 health range, of their first die points cost. So let's take Ayla Sakura from Legacy. She was a 9/12, she had 10 health. Or if you take Satine from Convergence, she was 8/10, 9 health. So to have a 7/9 with 9 health puts him above average. So the balance is missing there. I would put him at 8. Ollie, you said he's 9 health. He can be spiked off the table round 1. We've moved into a very aggressive meta. Yes, 9 health. Probably be spiked at the top of turn 2. So there is that. When designing a card, you think 8 health. You could lose that character round 1 if you're stuck with no mitigation. So you're almost forced into a power creep. But what creeps? And the creep in this card is the health. The ability is really cool. The syntax is wrong. It should read, after you activate attach character, you may look at the top 4 cards of a player's deck. Place one of them on the top of that deck, place the rest on the bottom of that deck in any order. But that's English language thing. And it's taken me a long time to figure that out. I still have to refer to, after you design a set, everything gets passed to Gandork. Gandork does a syntax check. There's a lot that goes on with that sort of thing. With regards to the die sides, I mean, you're not playing this guy for his dice. Given he doesn't have a resource side, maybe you can get away with having that 9 health because the die is just so bad. So it's like, that was what I look at. That's where we go to first, is always points to health ratio. Then you factor in the ability. You're playing this guy for his ability. You're not playing him for the dice. Like, to get out
at 7 points for 9 health.
You're looking. You only want the one focus, don't you? Like, he's got no resource side, so I'm looking at it as it's a balanced card in that respect. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, would you say that was good, bad, or ugly?
It's good.
It's good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love the ability.
It's a plan. Get some
All right.
I'll take this. I'd like to take it, fine tune the die sides, make it more playable, and then we're cooking on some gas. How about that, Polly?
There we go.
That's a promise. That's a promise. Legally binding. Okay. Majo, you have designed a card for us. Do you want to tell us about that?
Let's do it. All right, you ready? We've got Mind Expansion. It's a 1-cost blue neutral. Choose up to 3 events from your hand or discard pile and set them aside. Until the end of the game, you may play them as if they were in your hand.
Well, that's a very powerful card. I mean, that's like giving you an 8-card hand, is what my first reaction was.
It's just gold. Look at Echo's face.
Dude, I'm trying to figure it out. Like, when you get into
Echo's like, oh my god, what did I get myself into?
Sorry.
When you get into set aside zone, like you want something set aside, where you're choosing and setting aside 3 cards, because they've left the table. This card doesn't work because you could bring in any 3 cards from anywhere you wanted. Do you know what I mean? Like this kind of, so a redesign on this for Mind Expansion would be a support.
Mhm.
So after this support enters play, choose up to 3 events from your hand and place them underneath this support. And then, so you've got until the end of the game you may play. So you could have action, play an event from underneath this support. That's how this would
like
work.
Yeah.
How this doesn't work with the set aside.
Yeah.
It'd have to be a support in play that you place cards underneath.
I love that. That's really cool.
That is
Yeah.
interesting.
For that
Thematically, for me, I was thinking, like Jedi power or just Force powers, like expanding their mind, right, and widen their hand. But I like that. It's a really cool way to redesign it. Nice,
Yeah.
man. Thank you.
Yeah, it becomes a bit messy when you start dealing with set aside. Like if something's set aside, it's set aside for a reason. Like, and cards only. If something comes in from set aside, it's specific. Everything that will say set aside is named or numbered. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Presumably, yeah.
like
Got it.
Vizsla brings in Darksaber HS 103. You get 103, you bring it in. But if you're with this sort of thing, you could have placed any 3 events from anywhere. You know what I mean? It becomes very messy. So it's not a design space that's worth pursuing.
Yeah, cool. Well, is that bad or ugly then?
With the redesign as a support, it's very cool. But I'm not I try not to float my own boat with that. It's Mojo's design. I've just adapted it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good.
But
good.
as it stands, it's more
ugly.
It's more ugly.
As it stands,
right?
it's ugly. It's
Let's
ugly.
be honest.
Ugly as dog shit, man.
Nice.
I love it.
Sorry. Yeah, it's ugly. But look. But we've spent 2 minutes, we've talked about it, we've tweaked it, and it's become good.
Beautiful. Yep. Awesome. This is great.
Yeah. I'm just happy Madge got an ugly before mine is revealed. Okay, sorry, Madge. Yeah, so I guess we can move on to mine now.
Ready?
Which I designed about 30 seconds before this we started recording this video because I made a mistake with the other one. This one's called Somehow Palpatine Returned. From the greatest 3 lines of the Star Wars.
Dude, your event subclass is awesome.
No. Somehow Palpatine returned. It's an event. Subclass is what it is. Okay, it's a 4-cost blue villain event. It has ambush. It's quite a simple one for you to take in, Echo. The text is heal a character up to the amount of dice in your pool.
Woof. Okay.
It does cost 4 though. It costs 4, so that's all I'll say. My feeling of this was kind of bringing back something of one of the old Palpatines. You know, thematically he comes back in Rise of Skywalker. So I was wanting to kind of bring back something to do with the health and the amount of upgrades that he has that we had from the Unlimited Power Palpatine in the Legacies meta.
Also you've got the Galactic Struggles Palpatine and his special, and as a character he plays into he wants a swarm of dice in your pool, a swarm of support dice in your pool. So given your design philosophy on all 3 of the Palps, quite frankly, that we've had 4 but we don't talk about Legacy Palpatine,
favorite one.
The theory is good. But anything uncapped is dangerous.
Oh.
It's very did you say awesome?
Yeah.
Awesome. It's exceptionally dangerous. I know it costs 4, but if you think Rise Again or Heal 5, you're paying 5 to heal 5. That is, but you're also getting to play something for free. And you take the example of Field Medic, which is pay 1 for 2. you could potentially mid to late game, and a lot of cards at the moment roll in extra dice. Let's take the Tuscan Camp for example. You're getting 3 dice in. You could be very easily dropping this turn round 3 and healing for 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so on that basis,
And he's got ambush, so he can play the card.
yeah, exactly. So it's not balanced, is my feeling. I like the design, and I love it. I especially love the event subtype because it's perfect for the title. It doesn't need ambush, that's for sure. It does not need ambush.
Yeah.
I'd love to see this with a cap for 5.
Okay.
Back to maxed at 5. That cost 2. You had a big play build up for that. It's good. It's got potential, but it couldn't enter the game as it currently stands. Let's surmise it like that.
Okay. So is that good or bad or ugly in your professional opinion, as it stands now?
As it stands, it's ugly.
Oh wow. Okay.
I love you, Duncan, but I'm sorry, dude. It's middling between ugly and good. Like, we need to balance it, and it's good.
I like that.
Perfect.
Okay. Nice. Well, so we've done our 3 initial ones. We can now get on to. Oh, do you have something else to add to that?
We got the good, the bad, the ugly, right?
Right.
This is bad. It's middling. It's not ugly. It's not trash. It's middling. It's bad.
Well, it's kind of like OTS, Polly's the good, I'm the bad, and Majo,
Apparently, I'm ugly as dog shit.
he gets the bronze medal.
Not even. I'm never gonna live that down.
Right.
Oh, you're good, man.
Let's move on. We are into the realm of OTS. Beware, Echo. We're into the realm of OTS user content.
Hey, this
wasteland out there.
This is my disclaimer. I don't want to make enemies with any process of this.
Right.
Okay, that's.
Yeah.
You do already, but yeah.
I will say too that
all right.
I will just remind every viewer, and and we said this very clearly early on. This is not a competition to submit cards to ARH, right? It's for fun. It's for learning. It's it's really to highlight the design process and the expertise of someone such as you, Echo. So people know that,
and the thoughts that go
Okay,
into what makes a balanced card, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all right.
I like how we're bringing all these crazy designs and Echo's actually fixing them for us. It's brilliant. Okay, shall we move on then? We have, I believe, we have the Jawa Lord.
Don't. If he knows anything about OTS, he'll know exactly who this card comes from.
Yeah.
So this
Mando.
Yes, this is Rando's.
Yes, is it?
Yes, this is Rando's Jawa Lord, the Utini
Jawa
Master.
Lord. Oh god.
He's got 15 health. He is the Jawa scavenger leader that we all wanted. At 30 points, you're only playing this guy. Action: discard Utini from your hand to discard 4 cards from an opponent's hand. Straight up, Rando's Jawa of Dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't forget that last part too. I mean,
Oh, I forgot. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. You may include an additional 4 copies of Utini, following deck voting restrictions, and after setup, add 3 set-aside Jawas to your team.
Jawa
So
deck dealers,
basically,
yeah.
what would that be? 15, 20, 25, 30 health
30 health.
for 30 points.
That's the average. That's it's above average. I mean, but you're playing a 4 wide. You're looking at an average like 2 wides nowadays, like 2 wide aggro, like average 24 to 25 health now, which is a big step up from like Awakenings 4 days where a high 2 wide was 211 health characters. Your support decks now are anywhere between 25 to 32 health. Like Rando's nailed it with, I'm spending 30 squad points, I'm getting 30 health. Adding or you like you're gonna mill so fast.
Yeah.
with having 6 copies of Utini. Like,
For anybody who's ever met Rando, he wants to make sure he mills turn 1.
Yeah.
And yeah.
This is the original Utini discarded cards to the amount of Jawas that you could spot. So
Yeah, it's a maximum of 4.
Yep.
So they lost value as the game went on, as you lost Jawas. So you really wanted to pull them turn 1. This one doesn't have that spot, so you could play it even after all 3 of your set aside Jawa.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not even a power action; it's an action. So you could after Mulligan, you could end up with 5 in your hand, and then you just action 4, action 4, action 4. You're not even paying for the Utini; you're discarding it. Round 1 mill, Rando wins.
It's from your opponent's hand, so you're only going to do it once per turn, realistically. So maybe that balances it out a little.
Oh, from hand. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's not from the deck. Okay.
Utini's from the deck, though, right?
Well, no,
Yeah.
but the action on the Java Lord is from hand.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I misread that bit.
No, well, I guess you kill their hand, and then you use all the other Utinis to just destroy their deck. Yeah.
Is it balanced? No. Is it good? No. Is it bad? No. Is it ugly? Yeah.
Nice.
Rando.
That says it all. Thanks, Randall, for
We
sending
love
that.
you,
in.
Rando.
Some design.
Yeah. I'll continue to try and make milled cards for you, Rando. I'll keep this in mind for the next one.
All right.
And Sarah and Pistachios, if you are looking, we do have another artist you might want to think about hiring. Great art on the card.
His clip art game is strong.
Yeah.
Isn't it just?
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. We've got 2 cards that kind of come as a set here by the same designer. I'll tell you that it is the wonderful Super DK from the On the Sensors.
He knows his stuff, that guy.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
He does indeed.
He's stepping in on the old rules questions, and he knows his stuff.
Yeah, he's great, and we're really happy to have him on the OTS server. A very valued member. Well, that's why we've given him 2 cards here, because he has gone to the design philosophy of doing cards that work with each other.
Cool.
We will reveal them one by one, and I guess you can talk about them on their own in isolation, and then maybe once we've done them, both of them, we can see how they interact. So the first one is Severed Limb. Majo, do you want to take us through this one?
Yeah, let's do it. Severed Limb. It's a 2-cost. Making sure I'm not on mute. 2-cost blue villain of downgrade injury. After an opponent's character takes melee damage, you may play this downgrade on that character, decreasing its cost by 1. It's pretty interesting. So just on its face value, it's 2, but if you smack him with the lightsaber, then you reduce the cost by 1. Attached character has a -1 upgrade limit.
Whoa.
After 1 or more damage is healed from attached character, discard this downgrade from play.
Quite a lot to take on there. Yeah.
Straight off, there's far too many words on it. I know, like, ARH cards are quite wordy, but there's no way that templates onto an ARH card. I don't know what the character limit is. I can't remember. Sarah will be able to tell us. But we don't change the font size. If a card goes to production too wordy, it has to change. Like, the text isn't shrunk down or anything like that. There's a character limit. You hit it. If it's over, you change the card. Simple as that.
Good to know.
Yeah.
So off the bat, there's too much going on. After an opponent character takes melee damage, play this. I love that. I love the reduction in the cost to play it. Very thematic with the melee. Attached character has -1 upgrade limit is gross. Absolutely gross. If you're getting this down round 3, character's probably got 3 upgrades. You're gonna wait to resolve the melee. You're effectively playing 1 to discard an opponent's upgrade. That is gross.
Yeah. but thematically it's pretty good.
Yeah, man, I'm all over it. I'm all
No,
over
but-
it for theme.
but-
It's great.
Use their weapon.
Technicality,
That
yeah,
art,
you're right.
though.
Technicality, it's gross. Yeah, you're right. That's yeah.
Yeah. So I think the balance is off. You could be playing this for one to discard it. Like, look at it like just the bare bones. You'll be playing a melee deck. You'll include this. You'll hit them for melee. You then pay one. You're paying one to discard an upgrade. So I think if you want to play it as is, I know you can get rid of this, but you heal one and you get to discard this. It doesn't need that last sentence. It's nice to have an escape clause. I just think the balance is off with this. Oh man,
I mean, if this card had a different cost, what would you suggest?
I'd cost it at 3. Off the bat, I'd cost it at 3. Then you're looking for that play reduction. Discard something for 2, which keeps in line with other events or whatever that we've got that gets rid of upgrades. Can't remember what one of it. Hang on, let me Google.
I think we have raise. Raise is one of them, I think, unless it's not in standard anymore.
Raise, that costs 3, doesn't it? That come out in FA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see, that's the kind of place where you kind of need to be when you're discarding stuff like that. So, and then the reduction as well. So I think 3 down to 2 is fine. I like the escape clause for the player, but I think something has to go for it to become legit. So I'd probably actually, as much as my favorite part of this is the after an opponent takes melee damage, I'd probably get rid of that. You get rid of that, you play it for 2. Opponent can heal and get rid of it. At 2, it's fine, but as it is, it should cost 3. That's my take. I mean, team-wise, it's good. It's incredible. I love it. Execution, it's bad. It's not, the balance isn't there. So
Sure.
but the balance that out, let's put it in the middle. Let's say it's bad. It sounds weird saying that these cards are bad, like good, bad, ugly. Can I just say,
I mean,
yes,
yeah,
it's
gold,
all right.
silver, bronze. That's all it is.
I'm gonna go really British and just be like, yeah, it's all right, mate. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
There you go. We're gonna change. I'm gonna change the middle tag to yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Not too bad.
Right.
Not too bad. Okay, well, Super DK, as I said, has also given us another card that kind of goes with that, with the healing theme. Yeah, which I'll just take us through. It's Blue Hero. It's a 0 cost called Healing Touch. Spot a blue character to heal 1 damage from an opponent's character. Then remove one of that character's character or upgrade dice showing damage. So you are, I guess, like Rey and Kylo, you are healing your opponent and then removing one of their dice for free. So it's got that, rob Peter to pay Paul. Is that the right term? I don't know. You've got a little, you've got a little up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Your opponent gets an up and you get your opponent gets a down and you get the up. What do you think of that, Echo?
This gets a chef's kiss, man. This is money. This is amazing.
Ooh.
That's perfect. It's an absolute beauty. And I'm gutted I didn't come up with it myself.
Right.
That is such a cool card. Honestly, that is really cool. Not necessarily online all the time. You have to, like, round 1. You might not. If that's your mitigation for the round and you haven't sunk any damage, you're not going to trigger. Which is like the balance. Yeah, the balance is sweet, man.
Because it has a then written, it means that you have to heal 1 damage.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask you about, Echo, was, what's the thought process around when an event should or should not also hit upgrade dice? A lot of events are specific to character dice, and then sometimes they can also hit upgrade dice. How do you think about that?
Oh man, I knew you'd ask me questions like this.
We can come back to it.
No, it's fine.
Midnight in the UK right now. We're sorry.
That's all right. How do we look at the target requirement of an event? Do you mean that's what you're asking?
Well, yeah, you know that difference between when it hits up character dice only,
Yeah, like
remove character dice
okay.
versus character and upgrade dice. You know, like you've got cards like Roll in the Mud that can remove any of the dice that just rolled in. But you've got other events like, Pacify, right? Just removes the character dice, but gives that character 2 shields. This one and others I can't think of right now also hit upgrade dice.
So it mostly comes down to theme. So the theme here, you're targeting a character, so you have to target something that's attached to it. So the theme wouldn't be good if this said if you ended up removing an opponent's vehicle, showing damage, for example. That theme wouldn't work there. It's mostly a theme touch for when something is specified in the type of die you can remove, whether it character upgrade, vehicle, etc.
So Pacify. The theme in Pacify, which granted was an FFG card, but the theme in Pacify was clearly pacifying a specific character, so hit the character dice.
Yeah.
It's a play on it. It solely comes down to the theme of the card. Another interesting thing is what not many people know is every card starts with a name, and then you go from there, which is a really interesting concept.
Yeah, I like that.
You could you could come up with someone give me a quote. Give me a Star Wars quote.
Palpatine returned.
Palpatine returned. Exactly that. So what did you come up with first? The card name or the design?
I said to these guys, I want to do a card. I don't care what it is, as long as it is somehow Palpatine returned. And then you think up some crazy mechanic that fits it.
There you go. So there's lots of things from a design perspective, you watch A New Hope and you see Han shoot at the comms and he goes, boring conversation anyway.
Yeah.
And then you go, that'd be a cool card name. What's the theme for that?
Sure.
A lot of that comes along. Sometimes you design a card and you think, God, I have no idea what I'm going to call this.
Right.
Yeah.
So it goes the other way as well, and then half of the battle is finding a cool name for a card. Anyway, we've diverted. That was just a design tidbit for you.
I like that. Yeah, thanks, man.
We do have a couple of cards later designed by the OTS crew as a group that were definitely card name first, design second. But we'll get to that later because it's kind of.
Well, we're about halfway through of this set, so.
Just quickly, I can't remember too much about what Severed Limb was again, but they are meant to work together, Healing Touch and Severed Limb. Here we go. Bear in mind that Healing Touch is meant to work with this.
Well, I think when we read that and we evaluated them, we thought they did, but this is a villain card being played on a hero's character, and so Healing Touch is healing a villain's.
That's true. Yeah.
So they don't work together. Actually
don't work together.
It's all in the theme.
But it is in the theme. It is in the theme. Yeah.
Yeah.
DK's gone for maximum theme, and I'm all about theme.
Yeah.
So
and
10 points.
And we'll reiterate that you called that card perfect. So good job, Super.
Well, healing touch is like chef's kiss. That's a amazing card.
Sweet.
It's great.
Good, but we'll give
nice.
it.
I'll be in touch, DK.
Yeah.
That's really good. I'm sure the community would want to play that.
Next one, we have probably a big blue villain. Here we go.
I do.
Yeah. Polly, you want to take us through this one?
I believe this one is from Darth Clooney, if I remember correctly. This is his take on Darth Revan. Villain, 13 health for 19. So you can play him 3 die. Character Sith. You may include up to 4 blue hero upgrades in your deck. After you play an upgrade on this character that has the title Lightsaber on it, you may deal 1 damage to a character. And his die is, my opinion, pretty good. 2 sticks, 2 6, 1 focus, 2 shield, 2 money blank.
Great.
Big blue. I know I know Darth Clooney is very big on Darth Revan lore and stuff like that, so I know he had a lot of fun designing this one.
I don't know a ton about Darth Revan. I know also that Drac is a fan.
Yeah.
I don't from a lore perspective, I really don't know much at all. What is he even from?
He's from like the video games, isn't he? Knights of the Old Republic, I think. Was that it?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's interesting. Masked Sith.
So yeah, I think while Echo ponders that a little more.
No, I'm good. I got you. I'm good. Yeah, it's pretty good. I love the ability. 4 hero cards, themes on theme. Plan upgrade on this character that has a title lightsaber in it. Deal 1 damage to a character. That is really cool. Balance wise, let's look at that die. 13 single, 13 health. That's what we talked about earlier. That's kind of your target. You that first die cost is nearabouts where your starting health ratio should be. Oh man, but then at 16,
That's pretty good.
it's too good.
Yeah.
And then at 19, okay, so the balance here is you make that 2 resource or 1 resource and you're cooking.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Like for me to come in, balance this, 2 resource has to go to 1.
I mean, I guess our question.
I think you're fine.
I guess our question for this would be, how do you put a value? Because, Darth Clooney has put 3 points of character points value on each of those dice. We see some dice that are 4 points more when they go elite, some that are 3 points more. Most are probably 3 points more. Some of them are only 2 points more because they've got quite a weak dice. How do you decide what that point measure is?
Funny enough, it's not necessarily always in what the die itself is, even though that's what it may appear. So you look at this and you're going, all I'm doing is adding a die. What value is that die? Some characters, a lot of the initial starting points value is associated with design and text and ability of that card. So for example, if we take Callus from Seeking Answers, he's 11-13. It's just 2 points for his second die, and his second die, you could probably argue, probably costs 3, but then he's only got 10 health, but he's 11-13, so he's below average on that scale that we were talking about. But his ability is so strong, so there's a finite balance between when assessing an elite character's die cost, like you have to take everything into account with that. So applying that to the Darth Revan, any character with a 2 resource side, anything with a 2 resource side, you have to have a lot of caution in just putting it out, quite frankly. It's as a base 2 resource side on a 13-point character, even at single die, like, that is dangerous. It's like Moff Gideon, he's got that 2 resource side, he's 13-16. And you can ramp through the roof nowadays in Destiny. So to balance this card, I'd absolutely take that down to 1 resource. And you're cooking. I think it's great.
Good card, yeah. I mean, I guess with 3 dice, on a perfect roll, you're either looking at 6 resources turn 1 or 6 damage turn 1. If you're going through 6 resources is probably a lot more beneficial than 6 damage on turn 1.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
The other way to look at this is if this guy not rolls at EE Elite, however you want to 3 die, on the perfect roll he's going to deal 6 damage. That's absolutely fine. That's not breaking any game meta. I mean, the average deck, and then if you pair him with an 11 coster, they're probably going to be able to deal 4 damage with their dice. So you're looking at character dice alone dealing 10, which is a flat average that people tend to build around. Any decks that are above average is if you look at 2 Trandoshan Hunters and an IDT on a nut roll with a perfect hand, you can deal 14 direct damage just off character dice. You look at new Big Ray, she can max at 11 damage, no upgrades. Vizsla Hondo in previous meta, that maxed at 11, 3 on the Darksaber, 2 on Hondo, 2 on Vizsla, 2 on each. So, like, when you have to assess, like, partners, where they can go, what's the max you can do without spending any money, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So this kind of just fits that. Yeah, good work, Clooney. It's cool. Very cool. This gets a good. Change the 2 resource to a 1 resource, and you get 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, double thumbs up.
Perfect.
Double
Okay.
thumbs.
Nice.
We can move on to our next one, which is DJ Corruptable Codebreaker. Yellow neutral, so we can fit on either side. We are looking at 2 gun, 3 for 12 health, a 13, 16 on the dice. A 2 ranged, 3 ranged, 2 disrupt for 2 indirect damage, so he's looking to cause a little trouble. Another 2 resource side.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. And a special. The special will be discard 2 random cards from an opponent's hand. Then you may resolve any side of one of those cards' attached die. So,
Any guesses who submitted this one, Echo?
DJ Claro?
Yeah.
It was DJ, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're
DJ Claro.
so far, so that's pretty cool. This also has an action, we should say. Spend 5 resources to take control of this character. Any player may use this action. So it's like a very expensive fickle mercenary.
He's a hot potato, isn't he?
Yep.
He is. This is.
I have an initial reaction. I'm gonna pass it. I talk too much. I've been talking too much. I'll pass it to the floor and hear what you guys think. But I got an opinion. But I'll see
So
what
one
you
of the
guys
things
think
that just occurred to me in taking a third look at this, third look at this is like, let's say you're facing DJ and you're an aggro deck. You kill his partner.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is buy him, and the game's
Yeah.
over.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Exactly that.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Exactly. So kill the 14.11 health character, gain 5 money, buy this guy,
GG.
win. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, DJ Claro.
Very
but it's
interesting.
bad.
He could
Very
have
dangerous.
like the Han Solo that gives you all the money when you kill him. Kill the transformations Han Solo. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, that was my initial reaction to Majo. Like, all you gotta do is buy him and you win. I mean,
Mhm.
Yeah.
buy him round 2, beginning of round 3, whatever. Game's over. Thank you for playing. He's interesting. I like him. I like the interesting aspect to him. In my personal opinion, instead of taking control of him, maybe you kind of inhibitor chip his die. You get to roll it in the next turn, or you roll it in and resolve it or something. Anybody can take this action. I don't know, to try to keep with the theme that he was going with, but
Yeah.
Or maybe it works as a support, so it's not going to kill your whole game if you do get it bought from
True.
you.
Yeah. Or, he was trying to do something there with that 2 disrupt side, but I would have expected that to not be a pay side. Because if you own DJ currently, you want to make it harder for your opponent to buy him. But then again, maybe it's that way because you're taking a huge risk by putting him in your deck, and
maybe.
there's a pretty big upside, right? He's got some pretty crazy dice, so I don't know. It was interesting. I like this. Just DJ swung for the fences on this one.
Yeah, we chose this one because it's interesting. There's a lot to
Take
look
in.
at here. What do we think about the special then? Discard 2 random cards from an opponent's hand. Then one of those cards, if they have a dice, so you discard a Millennium Falcon or an Outrider from your opponent's hand, and you get to do one of those sides, the special on that. That's pretty cool, because it's got this randomness that you had with with like who's the guy from Rogue One, the bad guy that
Saw? Well, he wasn't a bad guy, but
no, the Paul Bettany character. What's his name? The
Kind of
Yeah.
us.
yeah. I mean,
The
it's got a
issue-
little bit of
cross about it, maybe. I don't know.
The issue. Go ahead, Echo.
It's kind of like this. Kind of reminds me of Awakening's Poe when you could with his special where you discard something from hand to resolve any side of it.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the discard 2 random cards from an opponent sound like you could whiff. You could just hit 2 fluid repasts or whatever out of their hand and not get anything from it. I see where DJ's tried to balance it with the double disrupt, but as Majo pointed out, like 2 disrupt for 2 self indirect is pretty rough. At the same time, he's got some pretty aggressive gun sides. But all in all, for this sort of thing, I love the you buy me, who wants me. But I'll go to the highest bidder. Like, it's really cool. We've seen it with Fickle Mercenaries. This would be cool as a unique support.
Yeah.
Like,
I really like the subtitle on him. The Corruptable Codebreaker. I love the theme there, right? Because you can buy him.
Either side,
it's Polly over there. Look at his background.
Do you think
code breaking as we speak?
Do you think there could be an argument for making his character point cost cheaper, so that you know it's a real risk putting him in, but it's not that big a risk because you've not he's not your biggest character if he's not your most expensive part of the team. If he was
that's a good point actually, Duncan. In Seeking Answers, we have Wanda Baba and Cornelius Estefan, the infamous scoundrels from episode 4. Now, they both have downsides, really big downsides on defeat. We're trying to balance a card that has big downsides, but a good die, good abilities. Because they've got that downside. You nailed it on the head. Yes, you could make this guy cheaper in points cost, even though they're really good. Like Cornelius Estefan, when we spoiled him, a little bit of a mixed reaction of, oh, he's too good or he's bad. That's another approach that you can take with a character like this with a downside is you can reduce cost.
Saw possibly, the elite version of Saw
exactly that. Yeah. Don't ask me where I'd point this guy. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
This is going in my ugly bin. And now, I need to think on that. Like hot take is it's ugly, but I love the idea there. Just the execution isn't there.
Yeah. Perfect.
All right, should we keep it moving? We're going a
Yeah.
little long here.
Let's go.
First episode.
Next one we have is by Lucas Biriani from the OTS Discord. Dom9, Federation Invader. He's red villain, so Polyfly has to take us through this one, I think.
Well, I think from listening to Echo earlier, it definitely does not pass Sarah's too many words situation, so it probably need to get edited at that point. But he's a droid leader for 10 points, 14 for 10 health. After you activate this character, you may roll in 2 set-aside battle droid dice into your pool. Set those dice aside after they are resolved or removed, and then it has a special for $1 that says deal damage to a character equal to the amount of droid dice in your pool. Bringing the droids back.
Oh, why didn't you let me?
I know.
Read this one,
Majo loves
because of my 2v2 deck.
The droids.
Yeah,
No, I'm just kidding. I love the battle droids, man.
this would go very well in your classic battle droid deck, 5 droid. Yeah.
So he's a character that gets to bring extra dice to the table.
Yeah.
I don't know who Dom9 is. Is that made up? Is that a thing? Let me Google him.
I was gonna do it, but with the way that my setup is, I probably shouldn't. we'll lose the card.
I think Echo, what do you think about the special or anyone being a pay side?
I like the balance of the pay side. I mean, we talked about this earlier because it's uncapped. That could get gross. But then the balance is there because he's low health, 12, 14. I personally wouldn't put 14 squad points into 10 health.
Yeah.
I don't think. from my slightly competitive nature, I wouldn't do it. Don't get me wrong, this guy's going to come in with 4 die, but those battle droid dice are pretty trash.
Macho.
Blanks. Yeah. It's just kind of like General Grievous from Awakenings. He was really poor health with the amount of card points that he lost.
No, like I love the idea, but I'm moving into a different phase of this. Like, how playable is this? And I'll say it's not playable.
Sure.
That's you guys talk about it.
Card bad. That's okay. You know,
it's not bad. It's the design. The theme is really cool.
Right.
If this, like, the balance of the cost on the special is great, because otherwise, you're talking uncapped here, and we talked earlier about the danger of uncapping something. I mean, that could get wild, because he's gonna potentially deal 4 on his own because he's a droid, and then his 2 set aside battle droids are droids, and then if you've got something else or a droid, you could be hitting some big damage pretty quick.
Right,
You
because
could be hitting in excess of 5 or 6 very quickly.
Because to note, his special says droid dice, not droid characters, not.
Exactly.
It's droid dice. So you're talking, BB-8s. You're talking, it can get gross really quickly, and in the current meta, to play him with somebody like Afra, like, even though you're not playing a battle droid deck, Afra lets you bring in extra droids that then have extra dice that go with them. Like, yeah, it can get gross pretty fast. It's I love the idea. I know I'm sure Lucas Briani was thinking about the classic droid battle deck, because we've had fun. When I first started on the OTS server, there was a lot of fun back and forth with Gunkins versus droids, and those classic battles back and forth. And so I'm sure this is probably where that mindset came from, which is a great mindset to be in. But yeah, this could get. I'm gonna pay 1 to do 10 damage to you.
Yeah, that's the most fun about this card is how do you break the special?
Right.
How do you construct the deck in a way that you can do like 10 damage with that thing?
Yep.
And
then play self-destruct to do even more.
Yeah. All right, listen. Let's keep it moving. Let's go to the next one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to call that one an ugly. Let's go to the next one. We've got another droid here.
Well, a vehicle.
I love this, man. Oh God.
We'll let you guess who made this one.
Yeah, it's well. While you look at it, I will read it out. It's the R2D2 Plane. It's 3-cost blue hero support. It's got well, you can see the dice sides there. 0 range, 0 discard, 0 shield, 1 resource. Action: exhaust this support to play a droid from your hand or discard pile, decreasing its cost by 1, which is cool. Increase the value of this die by the number of droid support dice in your pool. So again, it's an uncapped one. It seems like fans that design their own cards, like myself, do a lot of uncapped figures.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah, sky's the limit. It basically, the R2D2 Plane, I guess, looks to bring in other droids. It's an action, not a powered action. So, well, it does exhaust the support, I suppose.
So
there you go.
First thoughts on who you think might have made this. You could say one of us. It's fine.
It's not one of us.
I don't know, man. I don't know if you guys are witty enough for this. I don't know. I have no idea who designed that.
This one was also made by Rebel Trader, was it not?
Yep, it sure was.
There you go.
I think you hit the nail on the head with him trolling you, possibly.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so 3 cost. I really love the action. Exhaust the support to play a droid from your hand or discard pile. Decrease the cost by 1. Very cool. Increase the value of this die by the number of droid support dice in your pool. It's uncapped. It's dangerous. You want to see a limit on that to the range side or something. Fundamentally, the action's very cool. But it's ugly, but it's funny as hell.
Perfect.
Yeah, next.
Exactly what we expected.
Yeah.
He might have got together with Lucas Biryani to try and make him and Dom 9 a combination.
Oh,
that would
mate,
wreck.
imagine. Yeah.
All right, ready?
Echo is Boba Fett's Rancor, which is a grey neutral support, which we love.
It's a vehicle.
And it's a
It's
vehicle.
a vehicle.
Spoiler alert for Book of Boba Fett. Your Boba Fett has piloting. After this support is piloted by Boba Fett, you may roll in a set-aside copy of this die. Action. Any player may choose to take this action. Exhaust Grogu to exhaust this support.
How about that flavor text though?
Yeah.
Smash crunch.
Yeah.
Perfect, Polly. Love it.
So
Who
what's
designed
your
this one?
immediate thoughts about that, Echo?
I want to know who designed it. Who designed it?
You want to know who designed it? Well, why don't you take a guess?
You?
No, it's not one of us. I promise you it's not one of us.
Okay.
I would hazard a guess and say that you definitely know this person.
I don't know, man. Put me on my misery. Who designed it?
Really? Well, if you had to pick one of your fellow Echo Base members to surprise you with Boba Fett's Rancor, which one would you get?
Lando.
Yeah,
like he's
I love
coming
that
on
you asked
with- he's-
immediately who designed this card. Who the hell designed this card? Yeah.
John, man, I talk to Lando every day. You know, we've been team members for years. Like, we talk every single day. And like, he messages me. He's always saying like, "You should put Boba Fett's Rancor in the set. It'd be so cool to have Boba Fett's Rancor in the set. Have you put his Rancor in the set yet?" And it's just like, I can't really tell you anything, Mark. But like, sorry, his real Lando. His real name's Mark. I forget that we're in a world of aliases, even though we know each other's real names. Yeah, he's always trolling me, like saying put this in. So I was slow as shit to figure out that it was Lando. Sorry.
There we go. He's trolling you some more.
Yeah,
It's
I
so
mean,
funny, man.
There's so much that's right with it. There's so much that's wrong with this card. So I'm just gonna say it's ugly as hell. Let's move on.
Perfect.
Let's move on. I would just like to say it would be fun trying to attach mods to this vehicle.
just bolt them on. Just bolt them on.
Bolt a proton torpedo onto the Rancor or something stupid like that.
Actually, all right. Let me ask you guys a genuine question then.
Sure.
Okay.
If a Rancor was in the game, would you want it as a support or a character?
Support.
And this is like YouTube comments, talk. Let us know. You want it as a support,
I would.
not a
Yeah.
character.
Put it down there.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh,
That was just a quick community check-in question.
Let us know. Let us know in the comments or the discords what you think. What would you want it as?
yeah.
There you go.
Who knows? It may end up in a future ARH
Maybe.
set. Okay, well, we're on the home stretch now. We've been through a lot of cards. I ain't even going to bother introducing this one. I'm just going to... Let's put the card up and you
Ready?
guys can just talk amongst yourselves.
Majo, go right ahead.
All right, we ready?
Yeah.
Slimy piece of worm-ridden filth. 2-cost yellow villain. Oh no, it's neutral. Sorry.
Yellow neutral.
Remove all charm tokens in play.
It's an insult. Event insult.
Event insult.
A new subtype for you, Echo.
Subtype.
Insult.
Since we have charm,
these
now you
charming
have insult.
characters, they think they're so influential, so charming. You know what? We're just gonna insult the hell out of them. Get those
Yeah.
tokens out of here.
Is this designed by someone who doesn't like the new charm mechanic?
It's an homage.
This is an
We love-
OT. This is a OTS hive mind card. The three of us kind of designed this one together.
Hey,
No, we actually do. We do like the mechanic. We were
do.
just, yeah, we were just like, you know what? Let's just play on something from Seeking Answers.
Yeah. If someone is charming the table, it's kind of fun to just insult them, throw an insult at them, and then remove all the charm that they've previously acquired. Slimy piece of worm and filth. Yeah.
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 He's
I,
speechless.
oh God, I don't know what to say, man. To be fair, it's the sort of card that you need in the game. Kind of like remove all charm tokens in play. Like we've got charm
Like your
offensive.
unshackles and stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly that. We've got in Seeking Answers. Is it charm offensive? Remove a charm token. Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to have that counter. I mean, this is overboard because it removes all charm tokens in play completely. Love that it's an insult. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Yeah, let's give it a thumbs up.
All right, let's show him the cousin,
Yeah.
the distant cousin,
We've got tossed saber.
the tossed saber.
I know Polypine loves
The
to
moment
toss
we
his
as a
saber.
Star Wars fandom took a collective,
I found the perfect
double
art
take.
for this.
What just happened?
You mean the minute where we all realised that these films are bad? When we
Exactly.
just set the tone. Quick disclaimer: I don't think they're that bad. I actually quite like them. If it's Star Wars, I like it. I watch it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do
They're
we.
not my favourite.
Yeah.
If it's Star Wars, I watch it. Cool. Carry on.
Anyway, well, let's read it out. So it's a blue, because we are taking this very seriously. It's a blue neutral downgrade, which costs 1. So weapon downgrade only. So it's something new, which is a downgrade to a weapon, not a character. When attached weapon is resolved, you must reduce that amount by the value showing on this die. So it's kind of there to break their weapon a little bit, you know? It's like a modify their weapon downwards. If they've got a big lightsaber there, you know, get it out of here. We've tossed it.
It's a cool concept. I mean, putting a down. You guys have designed a downgrade for a weapon.
Yeah.
That's an interesting concept. I've never given any headspace to that before. For me, that sort of thing, if you think in real life play, is kind of like your play area, and it's keeping. I'm very precise with how I lay out my play area, and nothing pisses me off more when I cannot make out my opponent's board state because they're scruffy as hell. This sort of thing, putting a downgrade on a character, on a weapon. You have your character, and then you have your weapons, and then it's the sort of thing that can kind of get knocked. Elbow play. Do you know what I mean? That bottom half of your map.
True.
So it's, what was this attached to? Was it attached to that lightsaber or that lightsaber? Do you know? That's just a fickle thing that you kind of have to think about. Love the concept. If you made it more universal as a character downgrade before attached character resolves one of attached character's weapon or upgrade dice, reduce it by the cost shown on this die, then you're cooking. Do you know what I mean? Like if you made it character downgrade and before a weapon die on the attached character was resolved, so just tweak it a little bit, and I think it'd be quite cool.
We'll take that. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome.
I mean, there's you got some big values on there. You're completely nullifying a die if you're rolling that 3 though. That's the scary part about it. I don't know if it's worth 1 cost, no die, and you just exhaust it before an opponent resolves a weapon and you reduce it by 1. I don't. That might be a very simpler approach. But the balance of the die got the blank, so you may whiff. But if you hit that 3, you're laughing. Like, yeah, it's good. I like the concept. I like the concept.
Okay.
If this card was
That's good enough for him.
if this card was a real card, I would cosplay Old Man Luke just to play it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. You gotta gray your beard a little bit, Deb.
A little bit more. We're okay.
A little bit more, yeah.
Okay, well that's all our cards. You might be glad to know. We are done with all
Awesome.
our cards. Thank you so much, Echo,
for all your valuable insight. It's
Welcome,
been
man.
really interesting hearing about what thoughts you put into the design process. If you were to pick a favorite out of all of the cards that we've seen tonight,
Come on, he had a chef's kiss card at one point. Come on.
Yeah, Chef's Kiss. I can't remember what it was called, but that was it was just on the
Healing
money.
Touch by Super DK.
Yeah,
Super
awesome,
DK.
incredible.
Awesome. Okay, great. Well, Super DK, I guess. I mean, it's not a competition, but if it was, Super DK would definitely be the winner. Everyone else is a loser.
We're all ugly.
Yeah.
That was fun, guys. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, this is the first video of hopefully an occasional series, depending on how free any set designers are. You're welcome to come back, Echo. We'd love to have you back again.
Yeah, man, I'll
for
come
any-
back. I'll come back. Talk whatever. I'll talk Destiny with you guys. Any topic you go for.
Perfect.
I'll come back anytime.
Awesome, man. Thank you
good
for that.
I mean, that's the purpose of this. Of course, there's a lot of fun, silly cards there, but really, that's a kind of, we felt that was a good way to get some insights from your mind, about how you approach things, which you did. So that's great. So let's wrap it up then, I guess. Thanks to Echo again, and from Majo, Polly, and me, Duncan, on the OTS server. Please go into the Good, Bad, and Ugly channel on our Discord. Keep adding those cards. We're pinning them all, and we're looking at every one, and we'll probably pick another dozen or so cards for episode 2 of this series. So thanks a lot, and we will see you next time. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers. Thanks.